I heard rumours that one of the fastest sim racers in the world, an Olympic champion no less, drives using chase cam. Now, I know that many sim racers are slow, not because of lacking talent, but because their setup is not quite right, whether that's being too far from their steering wheel or having the wrong field of view. But these rumours got me thinking, maybe some racers are slow because they're using the wrong camera. So I travelled the world and I spoke with the fastest drivers, and finally I saw it. Chase camera being used at the highest level of Gran Turismo esports, proof that maybe we've all been doing it wrong. So in this video, I'm going to let you know, why do fast drivers use chase cam? Does it give a real advantage in sim racing? I'm going to let you know about the different camera options and some things you didn't know before. I'm also going to let you know which camera I use for speed. Now, this is Valerio Gallo. Like I said, he's an Olympic champion. He's a Gran Turismo Nations Cup champion as well. Like, he is one of the fastest esports drivers, sim racers in the world. And he's using third-person camera. So why is he using it? Is it giving him an advantage? Well, the answer is yes. It is giving him many, many, many advantages. The first advantage is that he can absolutely exploit track limits much better than you can do, for example, in cockpit view. He can see the full width of his car, he can see the front wheels, he can see the rear wheels, he can make sure that he's got a wheel inside track limits when he needs to. So he's going to gain time on, particularly on the exits of corners, because he can absolutely abuse and maximize those track limits. When he's racing other drivers as well, he can also get super close to them, he can squeeze them out. He has so much visibility, again, on the parameters of his car that he just wouldn't have in cockpit view. Now, a lot of people will say at this stage, well, you should be using cockpit view if you're doing sim racing because it's more realistic. And this is a misconception. Now, I personally spent over 1,500 hours in Gran Turismo 7, but I've also raced in real life. I've raced Mazda MX-5s in real life. I've driven a Ferrari GT3, and I can tell you this, cockpit view is not very realistic. Okay, so this is how it works. When you're racing a real car, obviously you're sat inside a cockpit physically, but your eyesight is looking well through the bonnet, well through the windshield if you've got one, into the track ahead. When you transpose that onto a 2D screen, it just doesn't work. It's really not very realistic, it's very claustrophobic. You end up giving as much prominence to instruments, your dashboard, which in real life you don't even notice unless you glance back and kind of focus your eyes in a short vision there. Now, to illustrate this, I'm doing some side-by-side footage. You can see in sim racing in 2D, cockpit view has like, I don't know, like 60% whatever of the view is just really irrelevant to driving fast and experiencing the driving. Whereas if you're in chase cam, in third person view, so much more is relevant. You can see your apex is cleaner. Often the camera is also higher than you have in cockpit view, which means that you have a greater vertical width of looking at the horizon and the apex approaching. You have more data, you have more bits for your brain to work with, and that can also make you fast. Now, there is one exception to this, but there's also an exception to the exception, okay? Now, the exception is virtual reality. When you're in virtual reality, because you get depth perception, you also can look through the windshield and past the dash, similar to like you do in real life. You also generally have a bit of a wider experience because you're sitting in a virtually massive screen. But it's really the depth perception that gets past the cockpit issue. This is particularly apparent if you drive a car with a halo. Driving a car with a halo on a 2D monitor is just a pain. You cannot see past that halo. Driving a car with a halo in VR is less of an issue because, like real life, you can see past it. But I hear some of you right now in the comments making a very, very good point, which is that if VR gets over the cockpit issue, why don't the top esports drivers use it? Why is Valerio Gallo not using VR? There's a couple of reasons for this, particularly in Gran Turismo 7, the HUD just doesn't give you enough competitive information. I've raised this before, I've raised this with Gran Turismo 7. At the esports level, or even the level that I race at, which is top split daily races, so right at the top of Gran Turismo 7, we don't get enough information on, say, the rev bar, which we need in certain cars. We don't have enough information on the leaderboard when people are pitting, etc. So you're just at too much of a disadvantage. That's one reason why top drivers are not going to use VR. The other reason is, if you actually have a look at this footage of Valerio Gallo at the GT World Series, you can see that he's looking at Kylian Drummond, also one of the fast drivers in the world. He's glancing across and looking, which obviously you can't do in VR. Now, I keep raising the HUD point. I want Gran Turismo to fix it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel right now if you're not subscribed, if you want to help me get the message out. They need to fix it. Now, the camera, I promise I'll let you know which camera I use, which I think is fastest. And for me, that's the hood view. So the hood view is a camera that's like on the hood, sometimes it's on top of the car, but generally on top of the hood. In my opinion, that gives you the most realistic sensation of actually driving a car in real life, because you're already like zoomed through the windshield. So again, some people might say that's unrealistic, but I would submit that in my experience of road racing, it's actually more realistic. Now, just because I use it doesn't mean you should use it. And now I'm going to tell you which one I think you should use. In fact, should you use third-person camera or not? This is kind of the point of this video, right? If we go back to the beginning, because we see Valerio Gallo using it. He's extremely fast. He's become an Olympic champion. Are we all going to be faster if we start using third-person camera? Well, the answer, I believe, is no. I don't think we're going to be faster because Valerio Gallo is an exceptionally talented driver. And because he's so talented, he can make use of those benefits, like seeing the parameters of the car, maximizing track limits to the millimeter. If you're not already maximizing track limits to the millimeter, you're not going to gain an advantage there. You're going to be better off in bumper view. However, I would say, as a result of this video, try it. Try it if you can in your sim. It's in Le Mans Ultimate, it's in ACC, it's in AC Evo, it's in Rennsport, it's in Gran Turismo 7. There's no harm in trying it. I'm not going to judge you, obviously. I drive from time to time in chase cam. And also try it if you're struggling. Try it if you're going into a new type of car. Maybe you're doing some rallying. Or just try it in third person if you can't quite hook it up. Also, if you want to learn a track, start doing your laps in third person. See where you're naturally placing your car. Are there some areas where, for whatever reason, you're not maximizing track limits? Well, you're going to see that if you start by driving in third person. If you get into a little bit of a rut, for example, you're doing time trial, you can't quite get that top 100 time, whatever you want. Again, switch out, do a couple of laps in third person, almost like recce laps. When I go and race in real life, I do track walks. All of my karting championships and trophies, that's as a result of track walks, going out there and seeing where I'm going to place my car. So driving in third person is actually a little bit similar to that. Well, you should definitely get involved in the comments right now, because I want to hear your perspective, and everyone's perspective is equally valid, whether you're driving in cockpit, you're driving in third person or bumper. I want to hear what you think, and I want to hear, are you someone that's a multi-camera driver? Are you someone that's able to switch? I'm going to put some more videos up here. If you enjoyed this one, go check them out. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.